Everybody, welcome back to 3-Day Weekend. I'm so glad you can join me today. I'm out here with the Pro XP and Sarge, and I'm going to install door openers. I'd never heard of them before. I was on the book face browsing around, and some guy asked about them, and another guy said, oh, you should try these TEK208 door openers. I did not know that was a thing. They go on the door, I guess, to hold them, little gas cylinders. I don't know what to expect, but I'm going to throw those on there real quick today and see what we have. The install looks pretty straightforward. We got a couple of brackets and a couple of gas cylinders and some screws. I looked online at their instructions and it looks like we're just going to bolt it right here. And maybe this one to this one, I'm guessing. Then we put the cylinder on. Here is everything in the package. 2 brackets, 2 different brackets, 2, I'm guessing, spacers, 2 cylinders, and 4 screws. And I was just looking at this one, and it does line up with these 2 holes. I'm picking the bracket that goes on the frame of the machine, and the pin has to face down. And they've even accounted for the little bracket that holds this fender in place. You see it right here. So that bracket will fit over this, with the pin facing down. It says to leave the door closed so that your door stays aligned when you do it. So I'm going to make a note of the current alignment of my door. So I can make sure I put it back in the same spot. These 2 screws are Torx 40. Next are just these 2 screws. And those are the same size. We've got the correct bracket that fits right here. And it says to replace them with their screws. And these ones, which are Torx 30s. The last step is to install this little shock, which goes right there to there. It says to remove these clips to do it. These are easy to take off. They aren't the ones I thought they were. You just pull up on this side, and it swings out, and then you can pull it down and it clears. Now for testing. Okay. There's definitely some resistance. It wants to push open. But if it's latched, it can't move. And then it opens itself from there. That's kind of neat. I could definitely see this being useful because it will... Chickens. Because if you don't have this thing latched, it's going to open. And it does happen sometimes where you think that it's latched, but it's not quite, and then you start driving and the door flings open. And then you catch it on a tree and then your door is gone. So I could definitely see that being useful. Especially with passengers. They're gonna have to close it. Well, that's cool. I'm gonna get the other one installed. I just finished this side, and the hardest part on this one was putting this pin back in because it's on the back side. So I just pulled this one back out, swung the whole shock over, and then I could see this side, swing it back over, and that one's easy to do. So, not too bad. And I was thinking another pro for this might be that these doors won't rattle because now it's being held with some pressure against it. Versus before, they would rattle all the time. I don't know, we'll see if that helps too.
A few moments later.
I've had these for a couple of rides now, and I just have to say I'm really, really happy. Not only do they hold the door open if you're facing downhill, which you wouldn't think is annoying, but when you're there and it's happening, you're like, oh, this is nice because this would normally be closing on me. But the biggest thing I found that I love is that it completely stops the rattle of these doors. They do not make a sound no matter what I'm riding over, going over jumps, rocky terrain, whatever. Those doors now are totally silent, and it just makes it sound like a much tighter machine. It really did a great job. So if those doors vibrating, shaking, making noise drives you crazy like it did to me, I highly recommend picking up a set of these. They really weren't that expensive. They have other pros to having them too, and your doors won't rattle anymore. All right, well, that's gonna do it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. We really appreciate all of our viewers and all of our subscribers. If you haven't done so already, consider subscribing. We really appreciate the support. That's what makes this whole thing possible. And if you feel like I earned it, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. Appreciate it. All right, we'll see you next time right here on 3 Day Weekend.